Hello everyone, I am Vikas Bhardwaj. I teach English at RKST PG College, Kethel, and I am here to deliver an online video lecture to the students of BA final year, 5th semester. This lecture is on Raja Rav's Kanthapura, a prescribed text for the universities of Haryana, and this lecture has been prepared on behalf of the DGHE Haryana. As I have just told you that this e-content is developed under the aegis of DGHE Haryana, and it is meant for BA final year 5th semester in the subject of English. The topic of this lecture is Kanthapura as a Gandhian novel, which is an extremely important aspect of the novel. Students may get a full-length essay-type question on this topic in their examinations. While studying a book, we ought to have background knowledge of historical, political, and social circumstances that inspired the author to write that book. It makes the task of understanding a text easy if one has a fair knowledge of the sources of a book. So these are some points which will be further elaborated in the next slide. The actual historical and political situation of India in 1930s provides the background of the story that is narrated in Kanthapura. The Indian National Congress was already a broad-based political organization that had spread its branches in the length and breadth of India. Mahatma Gandhi, after his return from South Africa, was already recognized as a leader of national stature who had launched his revolutionary campaign based on truth and non-violence against the British rule. There are recurring references in the novel to important political events of that time, such as the Salt Satyagraha, popularly known as the Dandi March of Mahatma Gandhi, the civil disobedience movement, the Round Table Conferences, and the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Whatever was happening on the political scene in India in those years finds its due reflection in the novel. So you can see these images on the screen. So these are actual images which I have taken from multiple sources like Wikipedia, Quora, or the website of the Hindu newspaper. Characters like Murthy, Rangamma, Ratna, and Rangagauda are not only aware of what is happening all over India, but they also take an active part in the rebellion against the British colonial rulers. They subscribe to newspapers which are read in communal gatherings and thus the villagers of Kanthapura come to know about the great freedom struggle that was at its peak then in the length and breadth of the country. So this shows that these people, uh, although they were villagers, but they had become sufficiently progressive due to the freedom movement. Mahatma Gandhi is a living presence in Kanthapura. His philosophy of life and political struggle is reflected by the thought and action of several characters. Gandhi has inspired a considerable body of writing in India, particularly fiction. Two significant novels that have predominantly Gandhian themes are Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable, which was published in 1935, and R.K. Narayan's Waiting for Mahatma, which was published in 1955. So these two, along with Raja Rao, are the greatest Indo-Anglican novelists. However, it is Kanthapura which is most comprehensively Gandhian in spirit. It pictures vividly, truthfully, and touchingly the story of the resurgence of India under Gandhi's leadership, dealing with its religious character, its economic and social concerns, its political ideals, while it dramatizes the capacity for sacrifice of a people in response to the call of one like Gandhi who tried to spiritualize politics. Kanthapura is about the freedom movement of India, and that time was of doubt and despair. But under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, the whole nation had risen into a big non-violent army which had become a big headache for the British colonial government. So there are at least four strands in the Gandhian movement: the political, the religious, the social, and the economic. And all have been seamlessly woven into the complex story of Kanthapura. So these are four strands of the novel around which the plot is woven. The conflict between the traditional caste system and the Gandhian ideal of equality lies at the heart of the first half of Kanthapura. Gandhian philosophy is introduced into the novel through Murthy, who is the central character, the main protagonist, who comes under the influence of Gandhi at a young age. Many of Kanthapura's residents initially fear Murthy's campaign of Gandhian non-violent resistance, believing that he is polluting the village by overturning holy caste divisions. But a large number of people ultimately join the rebellion when they see that it promises to liberate them from the grip of colonial governance and, of course, the evil of caste system. By the end of the book, the vast majority of Kanthapura's people have abandoned their traditional beliefs in the caste system instead. They begin worshipping Gandhi and also the representative of Gandhi in the village, Murthy. This radical shift demonstrates how shared religious beliefs can determine and perpetuate social evils, but also how a movement for equality and democracy can use the same tactic to strike back at the root of the social evil of a caste system. Murthy regards Gandhi as his role model and follows him in every way, not only in word but also in deed. He preaches to the villagers the chief tenets of Gandhian philosophy, such as to practice non-violence and to speak the truth. He also persuades them to make cotton yarn on the spinning wheel and to wear cloth spun and woven by their own hands. British made foreign clothes are to be discarded and destroyed in bonfires. Murthy tells his village followers that Gandhi says, I'm quoting from the text, spinning is as purifying as praying. This creates the image of Gandhi as a Mahatma, a great soul, and a deeply religious man, whom they venerate and whose words they follow as the law. To them, he is no less than a mighty God figure who can overthrow the British rule in India. In fact, Gandhi is seen as the incarnation or avatar of God himself, something like Lord Ram or Lord Krishna. So you can see in the image that Murthy is distributing charkhas and he is talking to the fellow villagers about the Gandhian philosophy. Due to Murthy's efforts, Congress committee is formed in the village and he gets elected unanimously as its president. With a great confidence in Murthy, even Rangegowda, who is the Patel of the village, that is the revenue collector, so he extends his hail and hearty support to Murthy. A women volunteer corps is also formed in the village. So this shows that women were also empowered in the Gandhian movement. Ratna, who is a widow, occupies the headship of the organization of Swayam Sevikas. So you can see in the images that the women are planning about the continuation of the movement in the village, and on the image on the right side you can see that they are also taking physical training to protect themselves. So they are not to indulge in any kind of violence, but as far as self-protection is concerned, so they were given the training for this. The people of Kanthapura and the adjoining areas are exhorted in the name of the Mahatma not to drink toddy or liquor in any form. Toddy is a kind of desi liquor. The toddy shops in the neighborhood are picketed to prevent sale of liquor. So we must understand that the prohibition for drinking, so that was a most basic tenet of Gandhian movement. So when villagers are walking on the path shown by Mahatma Gandhi, so they picket the liquor shops. Gandhi's practice of singing bhajans at his prayer meetings is generally appreciated. The people take out Prabhat Feris or morning outings. Mahatma Gandhi always advised people to arise early and to go for not only walks in isolation but also in groups in Prabhat Feris. So these were the part of the movement. Getting up at dawn, gathering at the temple and going through the streets in the twilight. Singing religious songs. So these were the part and parcel of Prabhat Feris. They also sing new songs in which Gandhi's image appears as that of a king of humble origin. So Mahatma Gandhi is projected as some kind of king in the novel. These were highly eventful times. All the details of national level happenings have been successfully described by the novelist in miniature or in microcosm through the happenings of Kanthapura. The villagers get elated after the news of the Dandi March reaches the village. There are dharnas, picketings and satyagrahas. So these were the essential basic parts of Gandhian ideology, that you indulge in dharnas or satyagrahas. So no one has to indulge in any kind of violence. So these were the weapons through which Gandhi fought with the Britishers, and he taught his followers to do the same. The villagers proudly declare that they are all for Gandhi. In fact, they are Gandhi's men and will do anything at his command. So the villagers were ready to do anything for Mahatma Gandhi. On several occasions in the novel, thundering slogans are raised to the skies. Vande Mataram, Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai and Inqilab Jindabad. So these were the slogans which the villagers always raised in order to show their solidarity with each other, and also it was a means to protest against the Britishers. So you can see in the image that the villagers have gathered and they are raising the slogan in the presence of the policeman Bade Khan. Range Gowda is also seen in the image. When Murthy is arrested, Ratna continues his work and hence the movement continues. Under the influence of Gandhi, people refuse to pay the revenue, the tax. The people of all castes and professions and the laborers of the coffee estate are ready to face the brutal assault of the police, and they are ready to bear the atrocities committed on them by government. Satyagrahis are maimed, broken, and shattered. A large number of people leave for Kashipura, like Gandhi himself. Rangamma, Ratna, and Murthy spent many days in jail also. So, as Gandhi was jailed, so were these followers of Gandhi. Kantapura has rightly been called a Gandhi epic, for it conveys the very spirit of those stirring days when a single individual in a single life, in a single lifetime, could so enthuse the people and so transform the entire nation. The readers feel the charisma of his personality, but the great Mahatma himself does never appear on the scene. So this is an interesting thing in the novel, that throughout we feel the presence of Gandhi, but in fact Gandhi never appears physically in the novel. Rather, his conscience is present. He remains in the background, but his presence is always felt through the transformation he is causing in Kantapura and in every other village of India. For Kantapura is but a microcosm of the macrocosm. It should be noted that Raja Rav's presentation of the Gandhian movement is impartial and objective. There is no idealization. Both the dark and the bright sides of the pictures have been presented before the readers. The depiction of the Gandhi movement goes along with the depiction of the petty jealousies and trivialities of village life. If there are Ratna, Rangamma, and Patel Range Gowda, there are also the characters like Bhatt, Waterfall Venkamma, and Bade Khan. So these are Bhatt, Venkamma, and Bade Khan. So these are negative characters. Even the character of Murthy has not been idealized, for he displays the necessary human weaknesses and hesitation in entering a pariah's hut, an untouchable woman's hut, and tasting the drink offered by him. So you can see in this that the untouchable woman is offering milk to Murthy, but because Murthy is a Brahmin and the woman is an untouchable, so he is hesitating in accepting the milk from the hands of an untouchable woman. So we cannot say that Murthy, although he accepts the milk and drinks it, but his dilemma, his he wavers. So that is clearly visible in the novel. So he is only a shadow of Mahatma Gandhi. He is not Mahatma Gandhi himself. In short, we can say that Kantapura is a great work of art, presenting realistically, impartially, and artistically the impact of the Gandhian movement on the masses of India. It is not a propaganda piece or a thesis novel, but a work of art characterized by the necessary artistic detachment and impartiality. So the topic comes to an end. For the preparation of this lecture, I have consulted or cited these sources. You can also see some of the sources are available online. For example, IGNOU eContent app, it is available on Android and iPhone platform. So you can consult these, and then some of the other sources can also be found online. I hope for your further reading you will consult these sources. So the lecture has now come to an end. Thank you very much. This is my email ID. I can be reached on this. So if you have any query or any observation regarding this lecture, please do write to me. I will be happy to respond to your emails. Thank you very much.